What's up? Walk with me. Walk with me. Walk with me, Miranda. So, hey, I think it went pretty well. Hey.
What's going on?
No, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It's none of your business. Dude, first time playing the Conduit. I think it went well. I got a real nice peek at Joey's nether region. It was pretty sick. Miranda, what was your favorite song, bro?
I like the one that's like.
Hi, I'm Danny. I play bass.
I'm Joey. I sing and play guitar and some drum stuff sometimes.
Hi, I'm Omar. I'm the drummer and I run the tracks.
Oh, and we are Feel Real.
Joey and I met in high school. We've known each other for forever now, and
Life partner.
yeah. No, we liked each other, but we weren't really friends.
Danny's senior year,
Yeah.
my junior year.
Yeah.
We both ended up doing Grease the musical together.
Yeah.
Danny was Eugene. Yeah, I was Kaniki.
So that was the first time I found out Joey could really sing, and at that point we didn't really start the band. I just knew Joey could sing. I kind of started a few other bands, was doing a couple other projects, tried to sing at them and could not sing, and then I called Joey and was just like, hey man, I need somebody who can actually I need somebody who can actually sing, and then we basically started working together from then on.
Just your instinct, so many years, standing in separate silence now, dance under the same ground. They separate lives beside us, they close around.
We moved to Orlando, and then COVID hit, and then that basically put a huge wrench in our plans for a long time.
But thank God we moved to Orlando because we found Omar.
Yeah.
And Omar is the backbone of this band.
There was
I wouldn't say the backbone, but thank you.
No, you're the
I
backbone.
appreciate that. I ended up meeting them through work pretty much. They kept coming onto this coffee shop that I worked at, and they pretty much just bullied me into being their drummer. They kept trying to get me to hang out with them and jam with them for a little bit. They knew that I had the basics. I was trying not to get back into that. I went to school for music engineering, and I was working at studios at the time. But they eventually got me to go with them. I started jamming with them. I fell in love with the music. I fell in love with hanging out with them. So it was great being behind the kid again. So now I'm back.
Our old band was called Fartium. It was a super, very, very pop punk band at the time, and we had it was an amazing lineup. It was Northbound, Old Again, us. There's a friend of ours named Chaser. It was already a 6-band bill, and then John McHale from Break Even Booking in South Florida, he hit me up and he was like, hey man, so I know your show has 6 bands already, but this venue fell through. Could you have Axis and Seraph the Light do a joint set or whatever? It was super hardcore, Sun O amps or whatever. And I was like, I'm not gonna say no to John. I'm not gonna say no to him. And I was like, all right, I guess we'll make it 7.5 bands almost, because they set up. It was 2 bands, 2 drum kits, 4 amps. It was in a tiny little.
Pub.
Yeah, dude. Oh my god. It was 50 cap room. Oh my god, that was crazy, insanely loud. But that one's probably up there for me for Florida shows.
I would say my favorite Florida shows, man. So, number 1, we used to play at this place called Anonymous Guitars. It was a lovely little guitar shop with a loading bay in the back, and they built a stage, and nobody would go to the shows, but it was still amazing. And there was this one band, what were they called?
Trophy Wives.
Trophy Wives. They then became another they grew into another band. Make Out.
They turned into Make Out. Yeah. Yeah.
But Trophy Wives was the epitome of easycore, and I just remember they headlined a show that we played, and we were the only group of people still there, maybe 10 people total, including us. But those guys played with their entire, like everything, their entire hearts. They like,
With
they
just
br-
all 5 of us just like staring up at
they
them.
played like they were in a stadium.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't believe the energy that they had for a crowd of like 10 people, and I think that's probably something that has stuck with us. Is like no
Yeah.
matter how many people, whether it's 1,000 or it's like 10, you just like always give it your all every time. So.
Everybody, we made the baby. And they were not a plan. That was not a plan, I promise.
I got to see Caifanes, which is one of my all-time like favorite Mexican bands. It was actually really emotional for me. I got to see them at the House of Blues, but it was really emotional for me because it was like the first show that my dad ever went to, and it was like my first like Spanish rock concert. I was like, as soon as I moved in here, so I was like homesick. I was missing my family and all that shit. So I got to see them. It was really emotional. They got to sing the national anthem in the middle of it too, like the Mexican
middle of the
national.
show?
Yeah, they like brought out the
so
flag. They started like singing the Mexican national anthem. It was like
awesome.
great, and that's actually one of the reasons also why I put the flag out on my drum
on the
set.
drum
Like,
kit,
Just leave it on there forever.
yeah.
To be unconventional and sexual while still having the freedom to be who you want to be. I support you in that endeavor, but don't lie, you never really felt the way that
My favorite thing to do on the set list is find like the word that is like the funniest on it. And it's this one right here. It's floss hole. Is unbelievable. I never choose them on purpose, but I'm like they're always kind of sick. Growing up, I was always like at Barricade for shows, and I was always fighting for set lists, picks, drumsticks. You know, I was never too cool to do like any of that stuff.
He's also 6 foot tall, so he would be in the front of a bunch of short people.
And people would be so mad at me at every set. Be like, get that tall guy out of my face. I want to make sure like our set lists are like cool and stuff like that. And I was like, what would have made me freak out when I was like 15 or 16 or whatever? And we had this big encyclopedia that our older roommate Gabe, shout out Gabe Santiago, left at our house, and it was just like all the pages are really cool. After we did that, I was like, dude, people love them. Everybody took a photo of theirs. I was like, I'm gonna treasure this, and they'd like guard it at like the railing and stuff. That started at the House of Blues show.
Yeah.
And basically ever since then, it's like every show, no matter what the show is, it's like, hey, let's do this. So
It's really cool to see them side by side though.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, for sure.
being able
yeah.
to like,
You can decorate with them.
well, like just being able to like get inside of our minds. Like we're all so different.
Played House of Blues. We opened for the Aces. We got like 5 days notice to do the show, and everybody just dropped everything. You know, people's birthdays, work. We just dropped everything so we could practice for those like 4 days. And I
Joey
mean,
like shook me awake for that basically. He's like, Danny, wake up! Marshall's messaging us. Look at your goddamn email. And I was like, oh. I just thought he was fucking with me, and then once it was happening, I was like, oh, I have to. This is what we're doing now.
and like up until that point, I did like one tour where I like played some like really big shows, but none of them were ever as validating as doing one with my own band with like the music and lyrics that we wrote. So
The first show that I didn't have to carry my drums.
Yeah.
And I
That's
got
why
used to
we
it.
had-
So
we had hands helping us.
we had hands.
Drive all the way. Just like music these days. Got a little money, we'll be okay. See a little song. It's heavy and we will split the day. Singing rest of all.
So like Florida, like as a scene, especially like when you grow up in South Florida the way that we did, it's so like incredibly isolated from like the rest of Florida and like the rest of the country, where it's like if you really want to be a band and you really want to make something happen, like you have to really want it to get out of South Florida, you know, like otherwise you're just gonna like hang out there then. And I feel like you wound up getting like a crop of bands out of South Florida that are so special because of it. Like that's where you got Woolbright, that's where you had Gouge Away, you have Jer and Scott's Network. like, you know, I mean, we got out of there. we made it out of South Florida, and it's like I feel like the pressure of the state and how hard it is to travel it basically like makes bands better. As far as like, you know, if we grew up in like Chicago or New York or other cities that are like more music cities, like it's so much harder down there. You know what I mean? Like we're constantly losing venues and doing stuff, so like you have to make do with like what you can.
I'd say what's special about the Florida scene is the fact that there are so few venues, so like all the bands had to kind of just come together no matter what genre it was, so we could play shows together. You know what I mean? So people can play shows. And I mean, like, man, I remember we were coming up, it would be us as a pop punk band, then we'd have like a metalcore band after them, then like somebody doing spoken word.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know, and then like, you know, hardcore, you know, like indie bands, just all the bands playing together. It's got to be like one of the coolest things about Florida.
Wow, yeah.
Right now would be like how welcoming everyone is. Yeah. Like it just feels like you can walk into a venue and like no one's gonna look at you differently. As long as you're not hating people, no one's gonna hate on you. You know, and I love that about our scene.
Mm-hmm. Everybody's hugging. Will's Pub, everybody's hugging each other for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm running out of thoughts of rain, ruining my day-to-day.
The weirdest, most fun shit that's always been kind of like, oh, like, should we do this? Or that we're scared to do has always been like the most gratifying stuff that we've done. And even if it's gone wrong, it's always been fun. You know what I mean? And that's definitely something that's like I think the most important. It's like, if you're doing the thing that's like, this is kind of weird, that's probably going to be like the cool thing that you can do. Because otherwise you're just kind of like doing what everybody else does.